Hey everyone, so on this week's video I am confessing about my debt. Yes, that's correct. Your girl is in debt, honey. I have roughly over $132,000 in debt. I will go ahead and talk about good debt and bad debt. First, we'll start with the positive. Let's go with good debt. Good debt can consist of things such as your mortgage, investments, education, student loans when you use them correctly, business ownership. Bad debt. Bad debt consists of payday or cash advance loans. Moving right along, credit cards, auto loans. All of those things are considered as bad debt. Now, let's go back to the positives or the good debt. Good debt are, as I said, things that basically, once you buy them, you know that they're going to potentially increase in value and bring in more income down the line. Touch on education and student loans. Know that we have friends or family, or you may have even taken out a student loan. If you use them correctly and you know you're going to take out the loan because you are paying for your education, cool. But if you take out that loan and you know you're taking out way too much and you don't need as much as you got, and you are using it for other things than education at the time, guess what? That turns into bad debt. And you, once you graduate, are expected to pay that back with interest. So you basically screwed yourself. You're going to be stuck paying it back for years on top of years. Okay? So you just turned your good debt into some real bad debt. Me, personally, no student loans. That debt I spoke of at the beginning of this video did not come from student loans, honey. We'll get into that in just a few seconds, okay? One thing on bad debt that I do want to touch on are actually two things that I want to touch on are credit cards and payday advance loans. Now, basically, we know that everybody comes up on hard times, and we know that, you have to do things to survive, right? Payday advance loans, I'm not going to knock it. Never done it, but I'm not going to knock anybody that does. I do not know your situation. But what I will say is payday advance loans, to me, are a scam. Because basically what they say is, hey, you write us a check for such and such, and we'll give you what you asked for. But when we give it to you, we want you to pay it back with 300% interest, honey. Hold on, you want me to do what? Do what now? Say that again. No, thank you. Okay, moving right along. Credit cards. Now, again, we know that people get into binds. We know that you have to use your credit cards in emergencies or whatever the case may be, and you may not be able to avoid the situation of using or overusing your credit cards. Fine. They say it's bad debt anyway, so fine. Back to my debt that I have, $130-something thousand. Personally, I consider my debt to be good, except for just a little teach of it. Okay? The good is a mortgage. I purchased a home in 2014, late 2014. And that could be considered as good debt, or is considered as good debt, because the home will go up in value. I purchased it in an area that is considered as rural development. I did my research, talked to some people, found out that they had this loan that was called a rural development loan. That's basically the government saying, if you find a house in this particular area that we have decided is a rural area that we want to be developed, if you find a house and you buy it in that area, we'll give you this loan with $0 down. What? You mean tell me I can get a house and not put money down on it? Sold. Give me that one. I bought the house in the rural development area. That's where I acquired the majority of my debt. bad debt. I recently bought a car. And when I tell you I had all kind of buyer's remorse before I even set foot on the lot, honey, I was going through it. And borderline was depressed. Because I was like, well, I gotta have this car. My car had a 2008 Impala. Bought it in 2009. Basically had the car for almost 10 years. And we know as cars get older, you have to put more money into them because things start breaking, stuff starts going wrong. Well, I took care of my car. Like, every time maintenance was due, if I took it and they said, ma'am, this needs to be done, do it. Take care of it. Fine, whatever. Because I knew I wanted to have it for a while. Didn't want to have a car note, wanted to drive it. I will say that a mistake I made in owning a vehicle when it comes to a car note, when I finished paying off that Impala, that '08 Impala, and I didn't have a car note anymore, I stopped paying a car note. The smart thing to do would have been to continue to pay myself the amount that I was already paying in a car note. That way, when it came time to purchase a new vehicle, guess what? I would have had a nice pretty penny for a new car note to put down on my new car, and my note would have been lower. So I'm kicking myself in the butt right now because I could have had a lower car note. If you tune in next week, I will reveal my new car to you guys. I'm excited. Even though I had buyer's remorse, now I'm excited. I went from being a little bit depressed about it to now overly excited. So I'm going to share that with y'all. That in itself, having a car note, my note would have been lower. Kicking myself in the butt. At any rate, that attributes to another $30,000 in debt, plus my credit cards. Touching back on credit cards, I tend to use my credit cards for necessities and little things that I want here and there. Now, they say credit cards are bad debt because if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be buying it. Now, in my case, I use my credit card, as a way to not carry around cash, because I'm bad about losing stuff. Like, I'll probably lose my head if it was not on my body. My credit card debt is basically, like things I purchased that I wanted. Large purchases, I have credit cards for that particular store. For instance, Apple. I like Apple products and I have the Apple credit card. You get rewards when you purchase in the Apple store or when you buy things from Apple directly. So that's a perk, a plus. And then also when you purchase from them, you have up to 18 months or more with no interest. So it's basically like them saying, hey, we're going to give you this free money. All you got to do is pay it off before your deadline or your months are up. And you don't have to pay interest. Like, who wouldn't? Now, if you stick to it and you pay for your debt, you pay it off, it's not bad debt. It's good, in my opinion. Now, other credit cards, I use them for everyday use. And basically when my statement comes, you better believe I'm paying it off. Because guess what? I'm not trying to give you extra money. You're not going to get my coins. No, you're not. So that's why I say credit cards can be good or bad debt. It's up to you. In my case, I want it to be good debt. I don't like owing people. So you better believe if I say I'm going to pay you, I'm getting them coins out my hand. Stay tuned because I think I want to start talking a little bit more about finances and money and how you can work to pay things off. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching this week's video, and as I stated, on next week I will gladly show you guys my other debt and I also explain why I chose what I chose and my personal plan for paying it off in 2. Yes, 2. This might be a little bit overboard, but I want to pay it off in 2 years. Now, I know that's going to take hard work, sacrifice, a whole lot of sacrifice. and a whole lot of willpower, honey, because even though I have buyer's remorse, I do like to spend my money on things that I want to spend it on. So it's going to be pretty hard for me to only spend it on the necessities. But I know it's doable. So I encourage you to tune in to my video next week. I thank you for watching this week's video because I was not going to reveal. I wasn't. But thank you. Hit subscribe, like, comment. Are you in debt? Let's get through this together, honey. Down below, comment. Let's have a conversation. What does your debt look like? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Next Wednesday. Take care.